Hey, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. You know, sometimes in sports, that's the hardest thing to do in sports, at least from a fan standpoint, is tip your cap to the other guys and realize you didn't lose, they won. That's what happened Saturday night.
I didn't realize LSU could bring Paul Skeens back,
man,
for another one. But that's what it felt like you were playing. You're facing a pitcher that's going to be in the big leagues in like 2 years.
Oh, I'm not sure it'll take that long. He was throwing big league stuff, and here's the thing about baseball, and it's just as true as anything out there: is good pitching beats good hitting. I mean, that's why Hall of Famers only get hits 3 out of 10 times. Their guy just pitched a gem of a ball game.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And sometimes it happens. Yeah, it was a bummer.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing. We all knew it from about the third inning on, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we knew it. 2 runs, 3 runs, it seemed like a mountain. It seemed like you were down 10-0. I think Dave knew when he went and got Root early that, hey, it's already going to be nearly impossible. So it was a game, and I got to be honest, I worried about it all last week because it sounds like sour grapes now, and I'm not going to get into it. But they should not have been matched up against one another in the first round because you can lose a championship. I mean, that was a national championship type game on Saturday night. That's a game worthy of the third and deciding game of the championship series. I mean, winner take all. The game was worthy of that. But it's a first-round game. And the loser now has to win 4 games in 4 days, and that's Arkansas. And you got to get to work. I mean, 1 o'clock's game time today.
It's tough. It's tough, man. And, Tony Vitello talked about it when he was on the show last week. The chaos begins when you get to Omaha. You don't know what's going to happen, who's going to get a break, who's not going to get a break, who's going to have the best pitching performance. Anderson wasn't a surprise, but he still was at his highest level.
Oh, yes.
Like he can have a game where he's not at his highest level, and Arkansas is going to make him pay. As good a hitters as they have, I don't know how you hit pitches that are dropping 16 inches when they get to the plate. And that's what was happening. If you go back, people have studied it, done analytical looks at this guy's stuff, and it was ridiculous. I mean, locating the fastball versus the curveball. I mean, I'm in the weeds here, but that's just if you get that umpire cam, when they show that umpire cam, you realize how I love that view because you can't understand it if you don't see that view. Like if you just watch the game from the center field camera. But when they go to that umpire camera and you're in that view, I don't know how you hit that stuff. I don't know how. I mean, Robinette, I want to say he got lucky and hit one out. I hate to say he got lucky,
but he guessed right.
But that gave you like a chance and a prayer. But Arkansas just had the most unfortunate setup with the best pitcher in college baseball, a future big leaguer, having to face him in the first game and him being absolutely on his stuff. Root was not. I didn't think Root was as bad as maybe it felt like he was, but he was just slightly off. And that's what I mean by Anderson. Anderson wasn't slightly off. And by the way, I don't know if I haven't gone back and looked, but it felt like every game I watched, every team that won laid down a bunt at some point in the game that ended up being a single. Like, and they just it's like that one inning where you get a couple of guys on and then you put a bunt down between the pitcher and third base and you can't quite field it and get the guy out at first. And it's like, these are the little things that Vitello was talking about. And you could just see in any of the games that you watched, somebody just had something happen and somebody had something go the other way. And then Arizona absolutely just made mistakes to run themselves right out of the tournament. And you can't do that. I mean, you can't walk people, you can't hit people, and you can't make errors. You're going to get beat.
Well, here's the thing that I think we have to keep in mind now. And we can go back and replay it Saturday night, but, unfortunately that doesn't do any good right now. Everything that has carried, think about last week. Everyone talked about, this is the best overall team. This is the best overall team in Omaha. There's something different about this team. They've got a character. They've got a togetherness. They've got all these things that all championship teams have. The beauty of baseball, but if you're on the other side, the ugliness of baseball, is you are one pitching performance by the other side away from none of those things mattering anymore. All the things that we talked about, Cade Anderson made irrelevant Saturday night. None of that stuff was irrelevant. All the togetherness, all the fact they love each other, all the fact that they've done everything that a team could be asked to do this year didn't matter anymore because he was carving them up. Now, all the things that were talked about last week, togetherness, brotherhood, character, this team's different. It has to carry them today, and it must carry them for the next 4 days. This is where it comes into play. It didn't matter Saturday night. Their guy made it not matter. And you have to give him credit for that. That's not excuse making. He just pitched a great game, and Arkansas was helpless to do anything about it. Now, look, there's absolutely no reason for Arkansas to come out today lackadaisical. They need to come out today with fire in their belly. I mean, this is it. They're better than Murray State. They're better than Murray State. And they're better than UCLA or whoever it is they end up playing tomorrow night. They're going to have to beat LSU twice to get to the championship round. You cannot lose until you either get to Saturday or Sunday when you're in the championship series. But this is still a good team, and I said this last week, and I believe it. Of all the teams there, this is the team most capable of fighting back through the loser's bracket. You will see after LSU plays tonight, the quality of their pitching is going to go down considerably. Doesn't mean that they're not good. It doesn't mean they can't win it. Doesn't mean they're not the favorite. They are the favorite, unquestionably. Them in Coastal Carolina, they're the favorites now. But you will see a drop-off in their pitching after tonight. And that's what Arkansas has got to find a way to take advantage of. But the first order of business is you've got to win today. And they're going to pitch Gage Wood. And hopefully Murray State doesn't have a guy pitch the way their guy at LSU did Saturday night. But I don't think Arkansas lost Saturday night. I just think LSU won.
Well, that's what makes it so unfortunate about the matchup and it being at that point in the World Series. Because if you get in a situation where you're not facing the other team's number one guy, that's why it should benefit you to be a better seed, because you're not facing somebody of that caliber in the first game. And there's no point in lamenting the bracket. But if you think about it, Arkansas having the best seed at the College World Series got them nothing.
Seldom does. Seldom gets you anything.
Because you should have a better draw in terms of who you got to face in the first game.
They've got to reseed this thing. Again, it's a different subject for a different day. And if you say it now, it just sounds like sour grapes.
That is part of it.
But they're going to have to get to the point where they reseed this thing. And this year's draw, if there was ever a reason why you say that, the fact that Arkansas and LSU played one another in the first round is the reason right there.
Well, what's ironic about it is the fact that LSU is probably just a different team, except for these two guys, especially Cade Anderson.
Look,
when you have to play that team, you're playing a different team than you otherwise would be maybe in a second game.
It's not lost on me that it's been hard for Arkansas to beat LSU in baseball. Nearly as hard as it was for a long time for Arkansas to beat Texas in football. There were lots of those years Arkansas had a better overall team. Texas found a way to win the game. There's been plenty of times in baseball since 1992 Arkansas was as good or better than LSU, and LSU won. I was there for a lot of them, and still am mystified by a few. That's not lost on me. They're going to have to beat LSU twice to get to the championship round. That's going to be hard to do. But they just got beat Saturday night. I don't think they screwed it up. I think they got beat.
877-377-6963. Second guessing baseball decisions is it's what baseball fans do.
It's what
sports fans, but managers in baseball get second guessed more than anybody. And I'm sure we'll have some of that today, all the way down to DVH pulling Zach Root in the second inning. The look on Root's face when DVH came out of the dugout was such shock and disbelief. He could not believe it. But DVH was confident in his move, and there was no hesitation. He knew exactly what he was doing. And by the way, he got backed up on his move by the way Gackle performed and came in and held him down. And if you had told me that Root's going to do this, they're going to be down 3-0, Gackle's going to come in, strike out 10, go 6 innings, throw 90 pitches, and it's going to be 3-1 in like the 7th inning, I'd still feel pretty good about Arkansas's chances.
The validation in Dave's move is the way Anderson pitched, not the way Gackle pitched, the way Anderson pitched. Dave knew at that point that we cannot give up anything else. We're facing the best pitcher in the Southeastern Conference. We're going to be lucky to score. We can't let this get any worse than it is right now. Now, look, if Gackle had come in, pitched great, and Arkansas had scored 4 or 5 runs, I mean, it would be obvious that it was the right decision. But the real validation comes in the way Anderson pitched because he knew, I got to go. I mean, we got to stop now.
Yeah. And he had no hesitation.